when they experience the love that is truly satisfying and truly filling, it's like they all melt, like every wall comes down and they're all crying. And it makes me think about that, like that concept of just like when something needs to change, the only thing that can change it is true love.
Welcome back to the Rooted Minds podcast, where we come together as a family to talk about books and our emotions. And in this season, a lot of really cool short stories. And in today's episode, we're talking about the Schoolboy story by Charles Dickens. And I have to say, I have to put this disclaimer that Charles Dickens is literally one of my favorite authors ever. So I'm going to lead us in this discussion. But I'm just kind of biased towards this story just before we even begin, just so you know. So make sure to go ahead and read this story before we get into it. There's a link in the description, and then you can engage with us in our discussion. So the Schoolboy story, we have a very unique character in this one. It has Charles Dickens is always good about making memorable characters. Mm-hmm. And in this one, we have this man named Old Cheeseman.
Memorable names, too.
Yes. Who is Old Cheeseman?
Well, he's not old.
No.
Right?
Exactly. Like you would think he was old.
Yeah.
He's just a student that has like grown up at this boarding school because his parents are gone. Mm-hmm. And his grandpa has been paying for him to be there, but he has nobody, he doesn't really have like family. So the school is like his full life, full world.
It's his home.
Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, he gets a job there when he gets old enough.
Seems natural enough.
And so now he's the old guy on campus.
Yeah, exactly. He gets this job.
Yeah.
He becomes second Latin master.
Yes.
Way to go, Old Cheeseman. He becomes Mr. Cheeseman.
It's true.
That's what he's presented to the rest of the schoolboys. But this is kind of the inciting incident of the whole story, because as soon as he's presented as Mr. Cheeseman instead of their friend, Old Cheeseman.
He's a betrayer.
He's a betrayer.
No.
He's a snitch. He's just learned all their secrets just to go and
become a teacher,
to join the enemy side.
The title comes with a cost.
Yes. And so what do the boys do about this?
Oh, they really do not like it. They do everything in their power to make his life miserable.
They do everything in their power. Yeah, to make his life miserable.
I'm happy I did not grow up at a boarding school.
No
kidding.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, that seems a little bit crazy in this story for sure.
Yeah, this is a tough crowd.
I know. I feel like they do more than just like, like speak mean to him. They're like literally physically abusing this man.
Yeah, they do a lot of things, some of which are even kind of comical. There's this one point where the boys are trying to make him feel nervous about his job and stuff. And so they keep like sneaking up to him and whispering these like phrases to him. And it's like this Latin phrase that they're trying to say to him. And in the story, it has it like translated for you. But if you like actually translate the things that they're saying, and of course he's the second Latin master, so he would know, they're just saying basically a catechism. Like they're saying like, the nominative pronoun is only used to express something.
Let's just say they didn't think it meant that.
They didn't think it meant that. They're like calling him a betrayer. And
that's funny.
You're using the tone of their voice to say more than the actual words.
That's so
yes.
funny.
So one of the...
It's like the token Latin that's in like the basic...
Yeah.
When you're
like
starting a web
like
page or
Lorem
something.
Ipsum thing.
Yes. Unum.
Huh? A new Google Doc.
Yeah, exactly. And so this continues basically throughout the rest of the story. And it sort of creates one of the major themes of this story is just this sense of like jumping to conclusions and misunderstanding, misinterpreting people's actions and just like sort of falsely assuming that they mean one thing or the other. And so let's talk about like how the boys like created this narrative around the Old Cheeseman.
And it's from the perspective of the boys, right? In the story.
Yes. It's like one of the boys that's among the society, they call it.
Right.
Well, it starts off with their bias they already have about students versus teachers.
Right.
They have a worldview against teachers.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter who Old Cheeseman is. But once he joins that pool, it changes his entire moral character.
It's true.
Right. Exactly.
That's intense.
It is intense.
Intense.
Yeah, and it's strangely like not unlike in some ways like things that you could see like children doing, because it's like in the last episode we talked about the Araby story and about this little boy who was disillusioned, and he had all these like he had a very active imagination
Yes.
and found out that the things that he was imagining were not reality. And so I think we have another sort of instance of that where the boys are imagining that this Old Cheeseman is doing things that he's not.
Well, I think it's interesting in thinking just about like in Araby, we have the one boy imagining. And in this Schoolboy's tale, it's like we have a group of boys imagining.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like
Collective
sometimes how collective imagination can really go south fast.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
Yes.
lead you to really wrong thinking.
Yeah.
It's true.
When people start agreeing with one another, we were just talking about this. Like, if they said it, it brings a little bit more validation to the claim. Like, oh, I wasn't just thinking it, you were thinking it. So now it's like way more valid.
Yeah. It
And
like
then
builds
they said
upon
it too.
itself.
Now there's 3 of us and everyone can agree.
Yeah.
And then everybody joins in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Whether or
wild.
not it was true in the first place.
Yeah. I think in sociology they've called it groupthink, where right everybody starts to think the same way and doing something, whether they're actually aware of the fact that they're all thinking. And yeah, so it felt like that.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't stay mild and it doesn't stay neutral.
No.
No, it does not. And it's really interesting to me that in the context of this whole group think thing that's happening, like that they're even like calling themselves a society, and they have a president as one of the boys. And he's like their leader in a sense, because he claims that his father is rich and he's off in the West Indies and he's wealthy. And so because his dad is wealthy, he must know some things about the world. That's what they say about him. And so they kind of, in some ways, like blindly follow and agree with each other and have this group think
That's
type
interesting.
of thing. So what is the true reality then of Old Cheeseman's character?
Well, I've always thought it's interesting, like how he continued to respond to them in kindness. Like that's pretty hard to do in these circumstances, I think. But the truth about that is, though, that his character didn't change. Like from the schoolboy to the teacher, like he didn't change. And
Shockingly, like how he responds just feels, I don't want to go so far as to say otherworldly, but it's just like he's so kind and so loving back to them that you think, where are you even living? Like how do you even do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because story-wise, this whole society thing and this antagonism towards Old Cheeseman, it just continues to escalate and escalate and escalate until one day the Old Cheeseman goes missing.
yeah,
And they think that they've finally done their job and he's gone forever now. But he comes back, and they basically all decide that they're going to like put stones in their desks to get ready to like throw at him when he
which
comes
is crazy.
because he wants to come make an address to them, and they think it's for revenge. But as soon as they have their hands in their desks, like ready at the president's word to throw their rocks, Old Cheeseman says these like super tender things to them. And like you're saying, like expresses this kind of love that's so surprising that it makes them all cry,
It does.
which is
Yeah.
valid.
Because he's just inherited money from his grandfather. His
Right.
grandfather passed away, and so he left for the funeral.
Yeah.
He inherited his grandfather's estate, and so now he doesn't have to
Work at the school anymore.
work at the school. He's come into his own, and he never let them like change his identity or speak that identity
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
him.
Which is kind of interesting that he grew up in the same place as them. You know, I don't know, like grew up in the same environment and yet is like being completely other than what they're doing.
Mm.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. So where do you guys see like what's the biblical perspective on this? Because Charles Dickens, like he wasn't necessarily a Christian, although there was like a lot of like Christian themes that are woven through all of his stories, I think. So where do you see like biblical perspective in this story?
I was just going to say in general, like I totally see like the life, death, resurrection, and return of Christ.
Whoa.
Yo.
Okay.
In this whole thing.
Share.
It's it's wild to me because, well, just like you said, he grows up among them, right? And then they treat him horribly. And then in a way he disappeared. He dies, like he disappears. He's gone for
They actually
a while.
think he's dead.
They actually think he's dead, and he returns. And come to find out, he was connected familially to someone who had ultimate riches and
Wow.
was able to
He's going
come
to
back and
Better
share
place.
Wow.
his resources and love with those whom he lived with.
Wow.
That's
Didn't
wild.
see that.
Wow,
That's so good.
that's pretty biblical perspective, I'd say.
Well, and I think it models like his heart for mercy over judgment.
Yeah.
Like, and the idea that we are so limited in our ability to judge
Yeah.
people. We only know in part.
Mm-hmm.
We are very limited beings.
Yeah.
We don't know what causes somebody else to act in the way that they do. And
Yeah.
so he delights in showing mercy.
Yeah.
Mercy
huge.
triumphs over judgment.
Just so
How much
good.
better was it for Old Cheeseman to operate in that way
Yeah.
Yeah.
than to like
Get
exact
revenge.
revenge? Yeah, exactly.
Well, he didn't get stoned. First of all.
Man, these boys needed a different kind of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Because they're operating in this like this bully culture just is terrifying. I mean, it's scary how this is even like how many hundreds of years ago, and
Yeah.
still young people are being portrayed as having the capability and the capacity to act upon hate
Yeah.
that is unfounded.
Mm-hmm. It's
Wow.
such a like me versus them type of culture, and there's like no sense of like belonging. But even just among this one school where you'd think that like everyone would be like kind of united at least
Yeah.
under the
Yes.
purpose of like they're trying to learn, like it's boarding school,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, they
They're-
all are like they have something in common.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But instead, they still have to make these little factions because they're so terrified.
Yeah, and it seems like they're all looking for status. Like
Oh, that's good.
the status that comes
Yeah.
from buying in to the hate. Like there's like respect among them.
Oh, man.
And there's status in making themselves higher than Old Cheeseman. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you could say he got something better than them. Like he got to become the teacher, you know?
right.
I'm not sure if they really said much about that. But like his status, like in the real world, was higher than theirs. And so they kept like kind of clawing for more.
Pulling him down.
But he wasn't ever using it against them.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me think about how, like, that kind of culture, like, you're just going to have to get more and more of it to fill yourself. You can't survive on just a little bit. You have to get more, and generally that means pulling other people down. But I
Yeah.
think what's so interesting about this is that, like, when they experience the love that is truly satisfying and truly filling, it's like they all melt, you know, like every wall comes down and they're all crying. And it makes me think about that, like that concept of just like when something needs to change, the only thing that can change it is true love. Like, like whenever somebody is like acting out like these kids, the only thing that truly changed their behavior was love. Like it wasn't
Like I'm gonna love you no matter what you do.
Unconditional.
Yeah. And that kind of unconditional love ended up changing them, you know, like, and that's just so cool, so beautiful.
Wow. So to wrap up, what are some like just simple ways that we can bring that kind of culture of like belonging and love just to our home or community?
I have something really quick. I know I just spoke, but I think like I care a lot about this specific topic and like bullying culture and things like that, because I think it's super, super important because words do carry life and death.
Yeah.
And I think people are already beating themselves up, and so nobody needs help. You know, there doesn't need to be any addition from anyone else for people to already question their identity and question things about them. Like the concept of groupthink in terms of that is scary because it's like you're thinking this thing about yourself and somebody agrees with it. But it's not the right thing to be agreeing with. You know, the thing to be agreeing with is the beauty in them and the way their mind works and the way they laugh and all of these things. So it's like how can we partner with truth about people instead of the lies about people?
So good. So good.
And I think just in general, being patient with people, you know, literally calming yourself, especially when they're not acting like themselves, you know, and
Right.
continuing to stay with them and moving towards them and all of that and staying patient so that, you know, in the end, they're like, wait, they stayed with me. Wait, they stayed patient. That feels like love.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the thing that comes to mind for me is, at least in my life, in my world, it's always a choice. Like kindness, love, patience, it's always a choice. Like, sure, in some aspects you could say it gets easier, but it never becomes not a choice. And so I think what this looks like, bringing it into your world, is having the mindset of choosing it every single day, in every single place you go to. Because it's never easy to be patient and kind and loving when somebody is like wanting to throw stones at you.
And if I could add one last thing too, in relation to showing hospitality and being a place of belonging and stuff like that, it's knowing, kind of like you were saying, I think, knowing where you belong yourself, knowing that you belong.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, this is like a boarding school kind of feels like an orphan mentality place.
It does.
Because they are away from the people that are supposed to be showing them the love.
Yeah.
They can maybe feel that.
Right.
Wow.
Maybe like they wish they had. Old Cheeseman didn't have that option.
Yeah.
And he definitely had that. He was an orphan.
Yeah.
But somehow he operated in this other mindset that said, I have somebody looking out for me. My needs are taken care of. I have all that I need.
It's beautiful.
That's sonship.
So good.
Right?
And so when you
Yeah.
operate in sonship, like, you bring life to others. And that's what he did. He brought life to others. When you operate in orphan mentality, it's, you know, every man for himself.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
That's so good.
Such powerful thoughts. Like I said, I love Charles Dickens, and we pulled out so much more than I expected. So we'd love to hear your thoughts too. Share in the comments just how you're partnering with truth for your community. And we'd love to hear that from you. But otherwise, we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks again for joining us on the Rooted Minds podcast. If you're enjoying the kinds of discussions we're having, consider joining our learning community, where we teach the arts and have many more discussions like these. But until next time, may you find joy, grace, and peace in the pages you turn.